Welcome everybody, Steve here. You own one of these? It's a punching bag. I know, I bought it with the greatest intentions, you know, I thought, this is what I need to work my arms. But you use it a few times and it ends up being non-functioning art. And, well, I had it in this room. It's kind of my furnace room and wasn't getting used at all. But I want to hang it out here, you know, make it look good, and then maybe somebody will use it. I don't know, it could be me. You never know. But anyway, hanging one of these is just, you just don't put a nail in the side of a wall and expect it to work. When you build them out, it has to be fairly substantial. This thing weighs 100 pounds or so. And I'm trying to go as simple as I can, make it look good, and then have it so it just hangs out of the wall just a little ways. I want it tucked in so that, you know, you're not going to take up a bunch of space in your room. So anyway, we're going to build a mount to hang this and make it look good, make it functional, and hopefully it's not going to fall off the wall. I'm confident. So anyway, let's head to the workshop. We'll build it, and then we're going to hang that. So I'm designing my mount for the punching bag, and you know, when I first thought about this, I thought, okay, couple supports coming down this way, bar over here, bar over there, and then I'm thinking, man, you need to turn off a couple brain cells, because that is just overthinking it. So this is what I've come up with now. Now, you can see I've got a lot of scrap just kicking around. So I've got a piece of 4 by 1/4, and I'm just going to weld a bar onto here, coming out like that. Screw this onto the wall where I've reinforced my studs, and that's going to hold it up. Realistically, punching bag's 100 pounds. You know, I don't need something that's going to hold 600 pounds. So that's why I've dumbed it down a little bit and simplified it. So all I have to do basically is cut this, drill a few holes, weld on my bar that I have to design yet, and I think I'm done. Now, you know, if you really want to get fancy, you could build a bar that, you know, pivots. If you're bringing it out, okay, now let's say that you're going to bring it out 3 feet. Now you want to make sure that you've got a little bit more support there. But I'm not. I'm only going to bring mine out about 18 inches, and it's going to stay there. If you're building it out 3 feet, you could put it, you know, you could put your bar on a swivel so that you can just move your bag right back into your wall and then bring it back out, put a pin in it, good to go. But for my simple little hanging job, I'm just going to do this, and that's going to be more than enough. Alright, I just have to cut this now. I'll center punch a couple holes and drill them up. So I just cut this piece here. This is going to be the bar that, you know, sticks out. Now, you got to remember, a punching bag, the punching bag moves. So all this has to do is hold the punching bag. So there's actually going to be no sideward force on this at all. I'm just using what I have. This is a piece of 2-inch, is that 2-inch? It is, 2-inch by 3/8. That's more than enough to hold that up. In fact, you can probably just go hang a Volkswagen off of there. So next thing I'm going to do is just drill a couple holes. And I have a couple different ones so I can, you know, if I want a little farther away, it gives me a couple options. But if you got a piece of square tubing, that's going to work as well. You may end up just welding a little, like take a chain link and weld it onto the bottom of a piece of square tubing and do the same thing. So this one here, I'll just drill some 3/8 holes, probably going to be good enough. And then we can weld this onto our plate and we'll see if it works. So that's what it's going to look like. Now this looks a little chunky, looks a little rookie here. So I think what I'm going to do is probably just bevel this down. And then I'll clean all the edges up and everything like that with the grinder. And then we can weld this onto our mount. Now we're just going to do what looks good. See how that looks? Steeper. That looks good. Just using this big piece of angle iron to help hold everything together. Remember, whatever gives you an edge, use it. I don't want to do this. I want to go like this. Then you can square everything up. Looks pretty good. Okay, just gotta go over just a bit. Good. And we'll make sure that we're square up and down. cracked it twice on this side. Okay, that should keep it from pulling this way a little bit. But, you know, you're welding, so you just gotta take the chances. You pulled a little bit, but I think it'll pull when we weld it. So we're just gonna leave that. If it's a little crooked, we can always hit it with a hammer. Now, whenever you're welding on something flat, and you weld something like this on here, it's going to make this go a little crooked. So you just put it in your vise, hit it with a hammer. Coming good. A little hard on the vise. Bring it around a bit. Looking good. So we want to paint this. It doesn't look too good, you know, when you're trying to, you know, make things look good in your house. So I'm just going to give it a little light dusting with my sandblaster. You could just take a palm sander, give it a little sanding. It'll do the trick as well. Take a buffer and we'll buff these welds up. Make sure there's no dingaballs. And then she'll look good. Then we can hang it up. Now I've just got some leftover kind of hammered finish paint. And so I'm just going to give her a little shot here. That should look all right. Out of your way. Kind of like that hammered look. Gives it that factory look. This is in behind the wall where I'm going to mount it. And if you watched my video on the electrical no-no, this is why I found that electrical no-no. So all I did was added a couple extra studs there just to shore things up. And I was just able to do that. Now, if you got a couple good studs, that's all you're going to need, unless you're going to hang it way, way out there. So here's the mount, all looking pretty. And the whole idea here is we're just going to mount it fairly tight to the ceiling. About like that. Okay. So I've already, you know, made sure I knew where my studs were, and I got the holes going in the right spot. But just as a disclaimer here, when you screw something onto a wall and it's going to suck that wall tight, if your wall is a little older, you may end up pounding out like here's a spot right here. the nail holes or your screw holes might pop on your drywall. So just be aware of that. But when I sell this place and move into my villa in Greece, I'll dab all the holes up and repaint this and make it look pretty again. All right, let's mount this. Make sure you hang it the right way, right? I'm using some 3-inch screws because that's just what I happen to have. 2.5 would work. You gotta be pretty careful. You don't want to go with 1-inch screws. That's not going to work out very well for you. He's good and mounted. Now, I'm only hanging it from here. If you're going to hang it from out here, now you got the law of the lever. And I could probably do the arithmetic if I had a calculator, but the longer you go out, the more support you're going to need here. So let's say you wanted to come out a little further and you wanted something similar to this. You may end up coming down with a strap down here just to give you that little extra, because the farther you go out, the more it's going to put, the more support you're going to need. I got 4 good screws in here. I think that's going to be just fine and dandy. All right, let's hang her. I'm just using an old speaker to set this on. Hopefully it's going to be high enough here. Let's just see. Oh, just. Okay, if it comes crashing down, you won't be seeing this video. It moves around a little bit. Oh, that doesn't look that bad at all. I think that's going to work fine. There you have it. We just mounted the punching bag. That wasn't too tough. So until next time, I am kind of out of breath. This is heavy. It's time to sit down now. Till next time, thanks. Well, it seems to be working. Alright, don't want to overextend myself. I think it's going to be fine. Now, if you're a professional boxer, you probably want something a little bit stronger, but I'm a long way from that.